Okay, this is a demo of smart appliances. I know there was a lot of questions on how do they work, what do they do, how do they save consumers. Yeah. So we created these are neon appliances. You know, these are the coolest appliances we ever made. These are not the real ones. What we did is we put in neon lights to demonstrate what actually happens. Okay. Now, if you think of a typical U.S. home, you know, when a peak occurs, that is usually the time people are at home. They're doing stuff, right? They are in their home, the AC is on, they are usually in the kitchen, they're cooking, they're washing clothes, they're drying clothes, and that's why the peak happens, right? And one of our challenges is if you say that there is a peak and we shut off everything, then you're not letting people do what they do, so the peak just moves. So our technical challenge is how do you allow or enable people to do what they're doing while enabling them to save money and reduce the power draw from the grid. If I can do that, then it's a great win-win for the utilities as well as the consumers. Now, what does it mean? So, to give you an example, a dryer, right? A dryer is about 4.5 kilowatts, okay, load on the grid. Now, this is power on the grid. So, when your dryer is on, and if there are about 150,000 dryers on in a city, they all come on at the same time, and they take 4.5 kilowatts from the grid, you have to switch on one coal power plant to sustain the grid because that is the amount of power draw they have from the grid. Okay? So think of the peak. So if I take this dryer and instead of it consuming 4.5 kilowatts, what I do is I just make it go into a low mode. So if you see there were two neons inside, two heater coils, 4.5 kilowatts. I program the dryer so that when it gets a peak signal, it goes to 2.5 kilowatts. So as far as the grid is concerned, I relieve the grid of 2.5 kilowatts per household. Okay. Now it is going to take longer to dry. Instead of 45 minutes, it will take about 60 to 70 minutes to dry. Okay. But then when I extend the dry and I do it on a low heat mode, I also save some energy. I save about 10% energy. So I save 10% energy. So the consumer bill is going to be low at the peak rates, which is going to mean a lot for the pocketbook. And as far as the grid is concerned, if I operate about 250,000 homes at low power mode, it is equal to one coal power plant, about 600 megawatts. So I enable you to dry clothes as well as relieve the stress on the grid.